When it comes to the minor 7 flat 5 chord or the half diminished 7th chord, most bass players are taught to play the Locrian mode, and I was too. But after almost 30 years as a pro bassist here in New York City and as an educator who's coached hundreds of bass players, I can tell you that approach rarely leads to truly musical phrasing. The pros hear this chord differently. They think about it in a way that's just much more melodic and way more useful on a gig. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how that works and why it changes everything about the way you solo, play bass lines, and everything else on minor 7 flat 5 chords. Now, before we do that, I just want to remind you to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Smash that like button, leave a comment below, share this with as many bass players as you can so that YouTube keeps sending this out and I can keep making this content for you. So let's just review what a minor 7 flat 5 chord is, or what a half diminished chord is, both the same thing. So let's look at D minor 7 flat 5. That would be D, F, A flat, C. So essentially D minor 7 is D, F, A, C. We're just flatting the 5th. Okay, now this is one of the most important and common chords that we have in jazz because this is the 2 chord of a minor 2-5-1. All right, so it's super, super important. We also see this as a static chord in some modal tunes. For instance, like Inner Urge. The tune Inner Urge, the first 4 bars is F sharp minor 7 flat 5. We'll talk about that in a little while. All right, so if I have D minor 7 flat 5, the way that I was originally taught, the way that many jazz improvisers are taught, is to think about this as the 7th mode of a major key center. So if this is the 7th mode, D is the major 7th of E flat, all right, of E flat major. Okay, so essentially what we're taught to play on this is the 7th mode of E flat major 7th, which is going to be D Locrian. Basically just E flat major 7, the E flat Ionian, E flat major 7 scale from D to D. Okay, so E flat major 7. If we just play that from D to D, okay, we get D Locrian. So D Locrian, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D. All right, you could also just play E flat major on this. It's going to be the same thing. Same notes, okay, but just, sounds a little better if we start on D. Now, that's the way we're really taught to play it, but I want to show you a way to really unlock it. And first, we're going to go back to the keyboard and just look at the notes and try and see them in a different way, okay? So if we look at D, F, A flat, C, if I just rearrange these notes in a way, we're going to find something very interesting, all right? If I take this note on the bottom here, D, and I put it on the top, okay, so look what I'm doing here. D, F, A flat, C. I'm just rearranging the notes, all right? Just taking it in an inversion, basically. So D, F, A flat, C, D minor 7 flat 5. I'm taking this bottom note and raising it up. Now, same notes, right? The chord I have here, though, is F minor 6. This is what we call an F minor 6 chord. I've got my minor triad, F, A flat, C, and my major 6, D. F minor 6. Okay, so first key takeaway here, all right, and this is going to inform everything else that we do. D minor 7 flat 5 is literally the same thing as F minor 6. All right, once again, D minor 7 flat 5, same notes as F minor 6. So just listen to how these two tonalities interact with each other, right? So on the keyboard here, I have just D minor 7 flat 5 playing, and I'm going to play F minor 6. Remember, they're exactly the same thing. F, A flat, C, D. That's just our F minor 6th arpeggio. Then from each note, A flat, C, D, F. Then C, D, F, A flat. I'm just going through each inversion. And then D, F, A flat, C. Okay, that's literally D minor 6, D, F, A flat, C, and then back to where we started, F, A flat, C, and D. Okay, now you can't see that over the keyboard there, right? So, first key takeaway here, okay? D minor 7 flat 5 is the same thing as F minor 6. The formula here is anytime that you see a minor 7 flat 5 chord on a lead sheet, or you hear a minor 7 flat 5 chord, okay, you go up to the minor third above that root, and you just build a minor 6th arpeggio, and you have the same sound. All right, so if we had C minor 7 flat 5, we go up a minor third, go up to E flat, and we play E flat minor 6. Remember, C minor 7 flat 5, C minor 7 flat 5, C, E flat, G flat, B flat. That's the same thing. I take this note, raise it up an octave, as E flat minor 6. Okay, so that's the first key takeaway. All right, that minor 7 flat 5 is the same as a minor 6th arpeggio, a minor third above the root. I heard that Barry Harris said that he heard Thelonious Monk say that there's no such thing as a minor 7 flat 5 chord. Minor 7 flat 5 chord is just a minor 6 chord with the 6th in the bass. All right. So if any of you out there know that exact story, please leave it in the comments below. The idea here is there's no such thing as a minor 7 flat 5 chord. We just have a minor 6th chord with the 6th in the bass. If we think about this as F minor 6, okay, now the scale that we are going to add to this, all right, is going to be F melodic minor. So again, D minor 7 flat 5, all right? F minor 6 is our arpeggio. Okay, start with 4, then add more. You've heard me talk about this in previous videos. We're starting with 4 now. All right, our minor 6th arpeggio, F minor 6th arpeggio. And if we want to fill it out, if we want to add more, if we want to turn that 4-note grouping into a 7-note scale, we're going to play F melodic minor. Check this out. F melodic minor, all right? F melodic minor is the same thing as F major, except we have a minor third. F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, E, F, right? And that E natural to me is what's key, is what makes this so hip, all right? So instead of thinking E flat, right, which if we're thinking D Locrian for this, as we're normally taught, we're really thinking E flat major, which is such a rub, right? If I think F minor 6 or F melodic minor, now I've got that natural 9th on this sound. And this is how great pianists or great guitar players are usually going to voice this on the piano. All right, they're going to play something like this on the piano. Right? They're going to put that natural 9th on there. They're not going to do this. You know, it doesn't sound good. There certainly are times, okay, where there are tunes where, you know, it calls for a sound like that. But in common practice, this is what we hear, right? So we may have this D minor 9 with a flat 5. That E is the 9th, A flat is the flat 5, and then going to the 5 chord, we'll do something like this. G plus 7 with a flat 9, okay? Our G flat 13 flat 9. That's our flat 13, that's our flat 9. And the voice leading on that, just check out the voice leading. Right? That's so much more the inside jazz sound, right? This is all F melodic minor. Okay. What this allows us to do is to get more of a classic bebop sound when we have this. All right, so check this out. If I have D minor 7 flat 5, again, I'm thinking F minor, we can substitute F minor with B flat dominant seventh. Listen to this first. Listen to this lick first, all right, before we talk about it. So this is something we hear in bebop all the time. Right? I'm just playing a B flat bebop dominant scale here, all right? Just Mixolydian, but I'm adding the major seventh. B flat, A natural, A flat, G, and then down, B flat Mixolydian, F, E flat, D, C, B flat. Okay, so because we're thinking about minor 7 flat 5 as just minor, right, as minor 6, I can substitute that minor sound with dominant, because remember, minor 7th, all right, or minor 6, Dorian minor is the same thing as minor 6, is interchangeable with the 5, with B flat 7, right? F minor 7, F minor 6 is interchangeable with, I can also play B flat Mixolydian on that. Okay, so once I start thinking about minor 7 flat 5 as minor, a minor third above, right, it opens up all these other possibilities for me. All right, so now let's apply this to a tune. We're going to check out Inner Urge. All right, now this is sort of an albatross for jazz players. And in a future lesson, I'm going to show you how to make this tune super easy to improvise on. Well, maybe not super easy, but a lot easier than you may normally be taught to play on it. We're just going to loop the first 4 bars of this. Here we go. So F sharp minor 7 flat 5, I'm thinking A minor 6. Now I'll play A melodic minor. That G sharp, right? That G sharp, which comes from A melodic minor, but is the natural 9th on F sharp minor 7 flat 5. We only get that if we think about it in this way. Back to A minor 6. Okay. F sharp minor 7 flat 5 is A minor 6. They are literally the same notes, but when we start thinking this way, it opens up all kinds of new possibilities and gets us into this sound that is really what the real cats play over minor 7 flat 5. There's the free PDF below where I give you this formula where you can just print out this, put it on your wall, so you have this formula to always be able to access this sound when you see minor 7 flat 5 chords. Minor 7 flat 5 is one of the 5 most important arpeggios that we have. If you want to learn what the other 4 are, click here.